rejection is really God's protection. That they're a person that just sits on the couch and play games all day long and don't want to work. But they gave you a whole lie in the beginning. Oh, they work, they got a job. You know what I mean? They believe in taking care of their family. You know, they know
He would go. I guess I was too young to really understand a sweet talking slick candy man.
This is Marsha.
This is Michelle.
And welcome to today's episode. Remember to subscribe, like, and share.
Yes. Make sure you make some comments, y'all. We love your comments. We want to let you all know that on our last episode dealing with overthinking, we love the comments that y'all have shared with us.
Yes.
We thank you for sharing all your comments and telling us how much you really liked the topic on overthinking.
Yes, thank you.
So, just to let y'all know, do you see the new things?
Yeah,
we got the t-shirts, candy talk,
and our cards.
and we got more coming. So the more that you tell us on things that you see, things that you think that are good, that are not good, it helps to make us better. So we thank you, y'all. Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about, as you know, in our last episode we talked about rejection.
Yeah.
And how rejection really, was a lot. And we know that a lot of people dealt with rejection, right?
Absolutely.
And what are the things that you got out of it the last time when we talked about it?
Yeah, well, even rejection and how I dealt with it and how I noticed it even with my father and the relationships that I had and how it carried over into other relationships in my relationships with my kid's dad, my children even.
Yeah.
So it is, if unchecked, it could really be detrimental to other relationships that you're in. It'll play out.
Exactly. And even with me, I talked about how I felt rejection dealing with being a young parent. And how I was rejected by the church, how I was rejected by even some of the society, how they looked at me, and how they to a point mistreated me. But through it all, we made it, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It didn't kill us, did it?
It made us stronger,
yes,
right?
Even more. Exactly.
Amen.
And so as we promised that we was going to talk about the gift of rejection, how rejection can be a gift.
Never heard of it before.
Me either.
Never even realized it.
Exactly. The one of the things that when I first heard of it, that rejection could be a gift, I was like, rejection as a gift? It was a young lady, and I cannot think of the lady. She's a thank you, Nona Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
Nona Jones. She wrote a book that was called The Gift of Rejection. And I was like, the gift of rejection? How can rejection be a gift? Just like you're thinking, that's how I was thinking.
And me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And the last episode when we talked about rejection, one of the candy things that we talked about is that it was sour, right?
Yeah,
real
we have
sour.
lemon heads.
What?
Yeah.
The lemon head. This time, it's going to be sweet.
Yes.
It's going to be sweet. I was thinking about, like this cow candy, this caramel with a little bit of sugar.
Sun dip right here.
Yes.
Real sweet.
Real sweet. So if you got any comment to tell us, what kind of candy are you today? What type of candy are you dealing with the gift of rejection? How do you feel about the gift of rejection? Does it make you think a little bit? So when I think about the gift of rejection, is learning to accept the rejection as a gift means reframing the experience of being rejected as an opportunity for personal growth.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Stop looking at it as it's negative. Look at it as it's personal growth. And if you're a believer, one of the things that somebody has said is they said that rejection is God's protection.
I heard that. I've seen that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rejection is God's protection. So even sometimes even if it's a rejection from a job, that was God's protection. Maybe that job wasn't meant for you at that time. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to take it. It can be a relationship. You know, a lot of times we get into these relationships and we think that this person is the best thing for us.
Yeah, that's the right one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all that in a bag of chips. You know what I'm
Come to
saying?
find out.
What?
Mhm.
That you end up ducking something. So if a person decides that they don't want to be with you, don't look at it as rejection, y'all. Look at it as protection. It's protecting you from something. One guy
That's
told
right.
me what's up. You know, I ain't no bastard. You know what I mean? My kids will never be a bastard. You know,
Yeah.
and they don't even
Where
take care of the
they-
family.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
can only wear her facade. So long.
Exactly.
But you know, that's when that's why we have to be mindful, like you said, even in this, because I didn't know much about it, but just knowing like the little bit that I did learn, and even just listening to you talk, the rejection of that person, or even the job, like you said, it helps us to it builds a tougher skin too with us. It helps us to build a tougher skin because everybody's not going to agree. Everybody's not going to like what we do. There's going to be rejection in our life throughout. That's just part of the process. But we have to build a tougher skin and not be so sensitive to things that they do walk away, or if that job don't work out. You know, with time to think beyond, like, oh, like you were saying, that okay, that door closed, maybe it's a better door open. God is about to open something else for me. You know, and in the midst of it, we don't feel it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We don't feel that, but we don't. With Nona Jones, what they were saying too was one of the things that God can use it for His glory, even in the pain, even though it's painful. You know what I mean? That God is still going to get the glory out of it. We hurting right now. We may not understand it, but then afterward, then we'll see it. You know, oh, that's why that guy had to walk away so God can bless me with this one.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Or that girl had to walk away so God can bless me with the right one, because He's not going to bless you when you still hook this nonsense.
And sometimes we'll take jobs just to take them. So when it can be a job that we look at that we think that, you know, oh, I can get that job. You know, that's nothing. I don't need a degree. Yes. And then next thing you know, you don't get it. You feel so down about it. But then another job comes along and it's the best job that you ever had.
But it ain't paying you the same amount of money. You be like, I don't want that job. How am I going to get my bill? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? But God is going to bless you with that job. Not saying He can't elevate you with that job, right? Because He can. But we don't want to take that job because we're looking at the money. We're looking at the benefits. We're looking at all this. And then we wanted that one, and God won't open that door. Exactly. And now we're feeling defeated. Exactly. When it was the best thing for us. And that's what we have to remember, that even though rejection don't feel good. Yes. It don't feel good. It absolutely does. It's painful. And it can be very painful. You know, and sometimes we got to look at, like we said before, where do that feeling of rejection come from? Look back. Go back to look back to your childhood. It could come from your childhood. It could come from, you know, an experience that you had before. You know what I mean? And then you didn't like the way it felt, you know, and now you put up a wall. And a lot of us, we put walls up. Yeah, and we stay focused on that pain, on that one plane, on that rejection, and that person that did it, that we don't even see the purpose. Exactly. We don't even look for the purpose because we're so concentrated and focused on that pain and that rejection that we don't even see. Well, maybe God had a purpose for us. Maybe that's why this didn't happen. And it may take a while for us to get there. If some people get there, some people still haven't. They're stuck in a place of rejection that they never will see the gift. It brings me back to a story when you talk about in the Bible, just thinking about what you said, being at the pool of Bethesda, the man at the pool of Bethesda, right? Where he was talking about that he couldn't get into the pool. The pool was spinning. It was turning, right? It was turning. Everybody was jumping in, you know, because they was going to get their opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But he was sitting in his little stuck place. Yeah. You know, so you can imagine how he felt. He probably felt the feeling of rejection. Oh, I've been rejected so many times. You know, when people walk by me, I'm trying to tell them to help me out. That's a feeling of rejection. Right. Why you don't want to help me? Why you tell me no? You know, because they want to see, they trying to get in there like you trying to get in there. Yeah. If they take you and you trying to, you know, fight back and everything, like they trying to get to where they got to go. And sometimes you got to be the one to pull yourself up. You got to be the one to come out of it yourself. and roll in there. if you have to.
Exactly. Do what you gotta do.
To get out of that situation.
Do what
And
you gotta
some
do.
people fight and they'll stay in that dark place of rejection, and they're not fighting to get out of it, and they're complacent in that place. And God was like, no, now you done got comfortable and content in this dark place of rejection. And now everything is based off, everything that you do in your life is based off this one point of rejection. When God said, I want you to let it go, it was a purpose for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That was predestined to happen in your life. So now I need you to get past that so you can go to your next. And then a lot of times people get stuck in that one place. And some people may not know how to get out of it.
That's the key.
They may not. And we talked about rejection, even with rejection, as the going to therapy, you know, self-love, different things that you can use. You might need medication or whatever it takes to get out of that place. But you can never experience the gift if you never let go of the pain.
Exactly. And sometimes too, you gotta let it go. Let them people go.
There's
some people that are in your life that that are pulling you down, you know, that make you feel that you have been rejected, the way how they treat you. It can be your father, it can be your mother. Okay? Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
It can be your best friend, it can be a friend that is constantly, you know, putting you down, never making you feel like, you know, you're doing something good or you're
Even
doing
your
something
children.
great, or even your children. Because no matter what you do sometimes, even your children will sit there and say, you know, you're not doing enough. But we're here to tell you today, that spirit of rejection has got to go. It's got to go. One thing about Jesus Christ, one thing he says, that he have adopted you. Whoever gave you away, he will adopt you. So today, I want you to say, Lord, I get rid of the spirit of rejection, and I take upon the spirit of adoption.
Come on.
Lord, I get rid of the spirit of rejection, and I take upon the spirit of adoption.
Come on.
Because now I'm adopted in the faith. I'm adopted with Jesus Christ. And no matter how many people reject me, no matter how many people don't want to be with me, no matter how many people don't want to accept me for who I am, you go ahead and you move forward. I've been already adopted.
Yeah.
I'm removing, I'm removing the spirit of rejection. And I'm taking on the gift that God has given me, the spirit of adoption. And all that happened with me, I know God did it to protect me.
He sure did.
He did it so that I can be a better individual, like you said, because it helped to make me a better person.
It
helped to toughen me up a little bit and to soften me. Because he's not a God that's going to put everything, you know, have you to be tough, like, as they say, like this. Then you look funny walking like this, right? I want to be balanced out. And that's what God wants to do with us. He wants to balance us out, y'all. And rejection can be a gift to you. So if someone rejects you, don't worry about it. Say it's okay.
And then too, the number one too, of a greater appreciation of acceptance. Because you will, once you get rejected after rejection after rejection after rejection, you will appreciate the acceptance even more. Absolutely. You will want to do your best on that job. Like this job let me in, or even in relationships, when you have that child that you bucking against, and every time you turn around, they're rejecting you, rejecting you. But the minute you get that text, or the minute you get that smile, or that minute of a piece of acceptance from them, it means so much. You appreciate it so much more.
So much.
So sometimes, you know, we get lost in that rejection part and we give up.
Exactly.
And God was like,
not today.
Not today.
We're not doing it today,
not
y'all.
Today.
So with rejection, make sure you acknowledge it. Acknowledge the rejection. Allow yourself to feel it. Feel it. It's okay to feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to yell. It's okay to tell someone else about it, to let them know what you are feeling. But once you release it, once you get it out, let it go. Let them be them. Let them be them. And you pick up yourself and you move forward and you learn from what it is and you say to yourself,
And that too. Just like when you just said that, because it even helps you to improve.
Yes.
Because all rejection, like you said, is not bad.
Nope.
Sometimes we have to learn something out of it ourselves. Some things have to happen so that we can improve, in our life.
Exactly.
So some things that God closes is because He said, no, you're not ready for that.
That's
so
right.
now you got to take it to God. Why did you close that door? Because it might not even be that person or that job. It could be just something in you that God is trying to help you improve on to make you better in that area. Exactly. You know what I mean? And for self-reflection and self-evaluation.
Exactly. So just talking about the gift of rejection gave me a lot of good knowledge.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of good information. And it makes me feel good about it's okay to be rejected.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because okay. I did. I'm like, what? A gift? Why? How can that be a gift? But when you look into it more, it does help you to receive rejection better. Because now when you get that feedback, it doesn't have to be like a rejection. It could just mean that you need a little work on yourself. Everything doesn't have to be bad. Rejection doesn't have to be bad. They may not be saying not yet. Exactly. But you just need to do this. You know what I mean?
And what one door that closes, God always have another door that's going to open. And always remember that rejection is God's protection.
Absolutely.
Rejection is God's protection.
Yeah.
So, this was a good episode, y'all.
Yeah.
Please make sure, again, that you like, you share, and you comment. And even subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet.
Yes. And candies, don't forget to put in the comments what kind of candy you are. And we will be sure to shout you out on our next episode.
And for our next episode, we're going to dedicate it to our young parents. Get ready.
Get ready and stay tuned.
I guess I was too young to really understand a sweet talking sweet candy.
Hey, candies, this is Marsha.
This is Michelle. You want to start over?
This is Marsha.
This is Michelle.
And welcome to today's episode.
So, today, I wanted to be able to share with you guys
that
I'm just going with the flow. Go with the flow.
I'm so sorry.
And then we'll get the like and everything. You so worried about the like and share. We're going to get it in there.